we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means, on infiltration instead of invasion, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. There is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it.
All right, welcome to episode 104 of the Abuse Hour. It is I, your host, Coffee Long, coming to you unsupervised, unmedicated, and an unchecked threat to society. So, man, I am almost, I'm not going to say better, but I was bad off, man. I got in the Doomsday Mobile the other day, and I was just cruising, and I was going to go pick up some snacks at the stove because I hadn't been out of the house in like a week and a half. And I started recording. I was just going to drive and record and hang out a little while. And I was like, I thought I was going to fucking die again. I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. Anyway, I was sick as 10 motherfuckers for like, I don't know how long, man. I think right after I put out the last episode, dude, I was going to the airport. What the fuck am I doing here? Yeah, I was going to the airport. And I got out to where I was going, and I hung out. I go meet with these clients, and I go to dinner and this shit. And I get back to my room, man, and I was like, I don't feel that good. And you ever do some shit where like you eat something you should have not ate, or whatever, you drank too much or whatever, and it disagrees with your guts, and you're like whoop, and like you just kind of inflate a little bit, and like, oh God, I'm not so good right now. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And I tried to go to sleep, and like half an hour later, I woke up and just started puking, dude. And I was like, whoa, it was like being a fucking teenager with a bottle of tequila. It was no good, dude. I was no good. I have no doubt the neighbors thought somebody was being fucking murdered in the bathroom in my room. It was weak fucking sauce. So I stayed an extra day, tried to pull it together a little bit, got where I was like passable, got to the airport, got back to the pad. And I thought I was good for like a day or two, man. And then just like sledgehammer, like zap. And I was like, fuck. Like usually, man, I'm pretty sturdy. Like I'll just, be outside. I don't care. It'll be cold. It's not that big of a fucking deal. But, dude, I had like long johns on, and then clothes over top of that, and then a jacket over top of that, and then a hat over top of that. And then I'm under the covers like, it's fucking cold in here. I'm like, this isn't fucking cool at all. So that took a little while, man. And I'm finally pulling it back together. Finally getting it back together. I actually just went and got like some kind of broke ass old man workout. Like you never ever lifted anything in your whole life. Like one of these deals of like, so what do I, like shaky and shitty. Like, all right, great. That's exactly what I want. But I did start pounding some quality meat yesterday, and that actually made me feel a whole lot better. Like I was living on soup for a little while, soup and orange juice and all the shit that people are like, what you got to do is you got to shove a sock up your ass and then start taking niacin with every meal, and like anything people were saying. I'm like, I'll try it, dude. So all manner of teas and potions and lotions and fucking soups and concoctions and what have you, man. I was trying that shit, which is probably what kept me sick longer. Like I would have probably been fine like a week ago, but here I am all. So anyways, yeah, dude, there's so much shit going on, dude. I mean, there's not a way to, I was kind of like making mental notes. And when I had started to record last time, I had started thinking of like, oh dude, I got to remember to talk about this shit and that shit. And like the illegal thing, that's what can you say that hasn't been said about the Marx Brothers? I mean, it's stupidity personified. This business of like, yeah, we're removing motherfuckers left, right, and center. If you say so, dude. I mean, if you fucking say so. I had just seen a stat from, what did they call it? Operation Wetback, like way the fuck back when under, I think it was Nixon, right? Like, we're getting these sons of bitches out of here. And they were deporting like, I think it was like 50K a week or some kind of thing, or maybe it was more than that, dude. It was a shit ton of people, and they were launching them the fuck out. Like, you're all out of here, like fucking whew, move it. Now they're looking at like, look, we got like 500 people here, and it only took like 3 days to round them up. Like, this is bullshit, dude. Like, you're not even fucking trying. So whether this results in anything, I personally think it's bullshit. And I'll tell you why, because what's the easiest way to get these motherfuckers out of here? Like, dude, think of you. Like, think if you went to fucking China and just turned up and like, hello, China, I'm fucking Chinese today. I'm setting up shop and you need to fucking accommodate me. How long do you think that shit would last? Like, one, you'd get fucking snatched up. But even if you didn't get snatched up, like, where the fuck are you going to walk into and be like, hello, China, can I have a job? They'll be like, no, you go now. You can stay here. I get in trouble, you stay here. They won't have that shit. But here, nobody gives a fuck, dude. I think this business where like these fuckers just roll in places, they get fucking jobs. You know that the one legit Mexican is like, he's hooking up his, whatever you fucking call it, his primos and his essays and this shit and letting them come in here on, they're all using one guy's fucking social and driver's license. We fucking know this, dude. But we let it fucking slide anyway. And you give this fucking free pass like, well, Mexicans do look a lot alike, so I don't know. Maybe he didn't really notice or something. Maybe it was a paperwork error. Like, yeah, maybe you accidentally filed the same Eduardo Rodriguez at the same address with the same social like 30 different times. It's just a little slip of the fingers, So I don't really think it's fucking serious. I think it's kind of fucking bullshit. I think it's something to shut you the fuck up and get these people what they want. If it turns out I'm wrong, dude, I'll be happy. I will be happy as a clam. Like I say it constantly, man. I'll be happy as the fucking day is long if I am fucking wrong about all this shit. And like, look, dude, we'll have it clear in half a year. These Mexicans are running for the fucking hills. All these illegals out of here. They don't want any part of it. I'll be happy as fuck, dude. I'll be happier than a dog with two dicks to fucking see that on the news. And like, yeah, look at that, dude. I was mistaken. But I don't think that I am. I really do not. Time will fucking tell, though. Time will fucking tell. I do like the idea of turning off all the foreign aid. I do think it's incredibly conspicuous, incredibly suspicious, incredibly so fucking suspect. I mean, it's like shoving it right in your fucking face to like shut off all the foreign aid and then like, yeah, but we're leaving Israel's turned on. Like the major fucking parasite, we're leaving that one turned on. And then we're also leaving Egypt's foreign aid turned on because, the reason we pay them is so that they let Israel do whatever the fuck they want. Like we're a reasonable Arabic country with that kind of, manpower, money, and resources would say like, hey, you should probably knock that shit off. Or we might, come by and try to level the playing field a little bit. No, not so fast because the U.S. is going to make it worth your while. We're going to give these people some cash money and they're going to let it fucking slide. So I think that's incredibly fucking suspect. But for the time being anyway, take what you can fucking get. The other thing that had come up the other day that I thought was pretty fucking funny was some of these deals where like countries were refusing these flights to drop off these people who are being deported. So I guess Mexico tried to refuse one flight, and I don't know if they ended up landing or if they ended up coming back. But I mean, I think it kind of demonstrates the way that the modern person, especially the modern woman, because we're talking about Claudia Scheinbaum, and I have no doubt that she has a big picture understanding of what the fuck is going on. But I also know that they're like, yeah, nobody's going to remember, 10 minutes ago, so we're going to run with it this way. And their pitch is that, well, yeah, but those people you're dropping off, those aren't Mexican. Those are like Guatemalans and Hondurans and shit. Why the fuck would you drop them here, goy? And the answer is fucking obvious because you assholes, under the premise that like, hey, as long as you're not staying here in Mexico, you walk right on through and we'll pave a way for you. Shit, we'll make sure we get you a ride. I'll have some of my fellow tribesmen get you a ride. And sending them on fucking north and sending them into our country. But we're supposedly, like we forgot about that shit. And like, well, yeah, it's true. They're not Mexicans. Gosh, scratch his head. I got to figure out what to do with these fucking taco folding banana getters. For my money, drop them in the fucking ocean. I am of the zero fucks given variety on that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck, Put them out on parachutes. Like, maybe take a look at, like, what are the prevailing winds doing? And then maybe get down to, say, I don't know, 26,000 feet, 24,000 feet, something like that. I don't know. I think they'd probably pass out a little lower than that. Maybe whatever, 18 something. And put them on fucking static line parachutes. Launch them the fuck out, like out, over the ocean. You launch them up high enough, if that wind's blowing the right way, it'll blow them onto dry land. You got a good fighting chance. I'm not making you people act like this. So, I mean, these are good odds, dude. Take them fucking Los Airborns. I wonder what you could call that, dude. Los Berets Verdes or whatever. You traded in your green card for a green beret. Falling immigrants from the sky, fearless turds who fall and die. Enjoy your one-way trip, shit stick. Anyway, the other one was Colombia. In Colombia, I guess they were actually just flying Colombians to go and drop them off. And I want to think that this business of Colombia saying, like, yeah, no, you're not dropping them here. We're not having them. Take them back. I don't think Colombia came up with that shit on their own. For my money, I think that it was maybe like a Mexico or some such, like put them up to it. Like, hey, dude, tell them to fuck off. See what they do. And what they do was, well, guess what, shithead? Now it's tariff time. And Colombia's answer is like, well, we'll put tariffs on you too. I'm like, motherfucker, do you not know that like nothing gets produced in the U.S.? So what are you going to fucking have a tariff on? Like, oh my God, we lost the Colombian market. Whatever shall we fucking do? I don't, it's like fucking crazy pants town, dude. And that really just seems to be everything of late, man. This year has been fucking tedious, dude. It only just started and I want to walk into traffic. This year has sucked ass. Like, I've been sick for a lot of it already. But just the people I've had to deal with, man, like clients. So with some clients, like you're wrapping up a piece of work or you're getting some new work going. And it's always like the beginning and the end of the year when this shit is most hectic. But it's gotten exponentially stupider. So I had to reach out to this one dude. And, like obviously I'm not going to give the docs shit here, but in the roundabouts, like some of the clients that I work with, man, it's very transitory. And a guy was here and now he's over there, but now he's with this different group or whatever the fuck. And then you lose track of a guy. You're like, well, this motherfucker needs to give me money, man. And, you got to hit up somebody else that knows them, a mutual acquaintance and like, hey, dude, do you know where shithead went off to? And like, oh yeah, he's here now. Okay. So I have to hit up this guy, right? I hit up this guy the other day that I hadn't talked to in a couple of years. And he ain't a bad dude. He's a good enough dude, but he's a little bit young. And I get, well, how old is this guy, dude? Probably just early 30s or mid 30s. And when I had met the guy like a few years ago, he was still like young. And he was like I shit you not, an aspiring DJ, this guy. And I want to say he's Italian, so obviously he's got a little bit of that ethnic blood in him, right? But he's doing his little like side hustle, like I'm gonna be a DJ. It's okay, DJ. And he's a goofball, and everybody was dog. Come on, dog. What's up, dog? Oh, how you living? And like I'm like, dude, look at me. Quit fucking talking like that. I'm gonna fucking choke you. So this guy grew up a little bit, I guess, and stepped away from the business from whence I knew him. Last week, he was the only dude that I knew who knew where this other dude was. So I'm like, fuck, I got to call this guy, man. So I hit the guy up and I'm like, hey man, what's up? What's up, dog? How you living? Right? And I'm like, hey man, I'm looking for this guy. If you got his number, would you be cool with passing me his info or whatever? And he's like, oh dog, I got you. I'm like, oh, I hate you, son of a bitch. Like, what you been up to? So whatever. So I'm back and forth with this guy a little bit. We're chewing the shit. And now the guy comes out with it that like he's quit drinking completely. And he's been sober, I think he said just about 2 years, which is good for him. Fantastic. Got married, had a kid. I'm like, wow, it's actually great, dude. I mean, whether I think you're a dork as a person, that's here or there, compared to like you're getting your shit together. You're not an aspiring DJ. You're not a falling down drunk no more. You're, an upstanding person. He's not our guy by any stretch, but you're a better example of a white man, even if you're only Italian, right? So I talked to him for a minute. He's like, oh, yeah, and it's really great, man. The blessings just keep coming, bro. And all glory to God, dude. And, and I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. Because this was something, you see this in the military, man. Like, I know a handful of dudes, a grip of dudes that were like, and hey, let me caveat, again, I say this shit before, like, I ain't trying to, like, bash on dudes who are church enjoyers or, like, to whatever degree, man. Like, I dig some Baldwin posting, man. Like last episode, it's terrific. But there's got to be a balance. Like, it can't be an act. You know what I mean? Like, adhere to it. Yes. Believe it. Yes. Love it. Yes. Live your life by it. Terrific. But don't LARP, dude. I can't have it. And I know more than a few dudes that are just full LARP mode, and they forget. They're like, dude, I knew you, man. Like, you forget, I knew you when. And this dude had started to slip into that a little bit. I'm like, nay, don't do me this way. And he's like, dog, it's cool, man, but it's turned my life around. I'm like, all right, that's good. I'm happy for you. Because I got like a really bad taste in my mouth, not for religion in general, but for the people that roll like, and not for religious people, to caveat, but for the hardcore LARPing thumper who is, you're putting on the act, dude. I will not have it, man. And I, when I was still right as I was wrapping up, there was a dude that I knew that I had known my whole time, man, the whole time I was like somehow like I was just connected at the hip with this dude. There'll be guys like that. You might see that like in college if you go on to work someplace with a dude that or some such. If you're in the military, you could almost definitely think of somebody that like you saw this person, you were in training with this person, and you just ended up attached at the hip somehow or other. So this dude that I knew, he was like I said, man, in that community, there was a lot of dudes that are like handsome Dan motherfuckers. Not me. Like, I look like a catcher's mitt, and that's fine. But there are dudes that are like women will cross a crowded room to just stand there and wait to say hello. And it's frustrating as fuck to see. But this was one of these dudes, this guy. And this guy would like, where some dudes that are handsome Dan like that are like, yeah, women, okay, whatever, man. It's entertainment. I like that they like me. I enjoy them for what they're for or whatever. But, whatever. This guy was a complete opposite. Like, this dude would go through women like shit through a goose, man. And if we happen to be somewhere and he was liquored up, obviously he's not in Mr. Charming mode. We call him the shotgun approach, right? With, plus his name. But we call it, his shotgun approach. And this dude would, no shit, go to every single woman in the bar. She could be with her family, probably not a bar, I don't know. But, she's with somebody, she's with her friends, she's crying into her phone, she's in the middle of a bachelorette party, good Lord Almighty. Every single woman in the bar, this guy will roll up, hey, goddamn, you look fine, what's your name here with that? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, yeah, you want to fuck? And I swear he would roll like this. And 99.999% of the time, these women will give him a slap and like, get away from me. But there's always that one, that 0.0001 that's like, hee. And this dude, you're like, what? Why do you do this, man? Like, he'd end up with these women that would try to drive over him with cars. Me and him had an apartment at one point. We get back to the pad, and there's some woman sitting there in the dark just waiting for him to come home. Where have you been? We're like, what the hell are you doing in here? Like, just madness. Dude, we were deployed together, and this was before the modern unpleasantness. And I came to this guy's room at like, I don't know, 7-something in the morning. And I was like, hey, let's go and get something to eat. And I knock on the door, and he answers the door butt naked. And I'm like, well, I don't know if you want to get something to eat or you want to put some pants on or what, dude. And he's like, oh, no, I'm fine, bro. He's like, come in for a second. Have a drink. And I'm like, dude, it's 7 in the morning. I don't actually want a drink. And this guy had some local girl that was, the country that we were in, it was legal to drink at 18, which just like in the States, if it's legal to drink at 21, that means hot girls are sneaking in at 18, 19, 20. So where we are, it's legal to drink at 18. So hot girls are sneaking into the bar at what? 16, 17. And this dude's in here with, like, this girl is obviously not from the bar legally, but she's liquored up and he's liquored up and it's 7 in the morning. And I'm like, I got to be the fuck out of here, dude. I don't know what this shit's about, but this is a bridge too far, man. Even me at my worst, like, this is a bridge too far where you're at right now. You're like, bro, what the fuck, bro? Come on. So, like, this is the kind of cat that I would see. And I know more than a few guys like this. The guy hit me up at Christmas and was like, hey, it's time to celebrate Jesus' birth, man. How you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to kill you, dude. This isn't what I wanted to see when I opened my phone. How are you? Oh, man, I'm just living God's blessing every day, man. And I'm like, have a good Christmas. I'm going now, man. And it sucks, dude, because it really does makes a bad impression, I think, for people that are actually walking it like they talk it and embrace the concepts, embrace their religion, embrace their beliefs. But now you got a guy like this that just pisses people off. It pisses me off. I can't imagine what it does to people that's the only side of this guy that they see. But I'm kind of like, dude, try not to forget. Like, I knew you when, man. Don't forget the pants you weren't wearing when you answered the door and you had that child in there with you. Like, what, you fucking know. And now you're going to come to me with this. So, yeah, man. So I talked to that dude the other day. I mean, dude, talk about your tangent, right? This is what you fucks get for hassling me in the chat, right? You get nonsense. But yeah, so I talked to that guy, man, and I get connected with some of these people that I'm trying to get work through, and I'm trying to line stuff up with them, and at the same time trying to close some work out with some other people. And I got this woman at this one place that I submit all these travel expenses because, as you know, I'm always fucking traveling. And I got it's not just me, I got other people that I work with. And she's like, hey, send me everybody's home addresses and I'll get these checks made out to everyone and sent out the door. I'm like, what? No, man, it's business. Like, you wouldn't say this shit to, like, the UPS guy, like, give me your home address and all. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? No, look, it's a business, dickhead. Look at the fucking invoice, man, and get me straightened out on this. Oh, okay. Like it's the first time you've ever done this. Like, how did you get this fucking job? You know how she got this job. Like, if it was me in a job at a company like this, it would be like, you got here because you put a lot of years in and a lot of work and you demonstrated that you got your shit together better than anybody else. So congratulations, you could do this job until you fuck it up. But we're just watching you, dude, and we're ready to shit can you. Okay. Dude, this college girl business, this is out of fucking hand, man. They say, like, the diversity thing is winding down, but that ain't what I seen, man. I mean, this kind of shit it's pants on fucking head with this diversity business. Added to which, speaking of diversity business, and I don't have confirmation on how much diversity is involved, but taking a look at the news stories, man, I am seeing this thing from, what is this from, dude? Thursday? The story's from today, but this just happened, I want to say yesterday, that commercial jet, an American Airlines jet carrying 64 people, from Wichita, Kansas, I believe, collides with an Army helicopter near D.C. So an American Airlines jet looking to land at Reagan International and collided with an Army helicopter, and the whole fucking thing went into the drink, it appears, because the Reagan Airport, if you haven't been out to D.C., if you haven't had that terrific misfortune, you go to D.C., man, the Reagan Airport is like right on the water there. And somehow or other, something got fucked up and these two vehicles collided and in the drink they go. It appears that there was some kind of jackassery where I don't know if the helicopter did not have its transponder on. There also appears to have been an issue with comms between the helicopter and the air traffic control tower. I'm looking at this on Zero Hedge, and there's a comment in here from a guy who was an air traffic control tower. Appears to have been at DC Reagan. I was a controller at DCA for 8 years, and this is a normal operation with helicopters using the helicopter routes. This problem I see is the controller asked the helicopter if they had the CRJ in sight. I don't know what a CRJ is, but he never said where he was or what he was doing. The controller should have told the helicopter that CRJ was circling to runway 33, so I'm guessing that's commercial routed jet. I don't fucking know. But he really had the jet in sight that was landing on runway 1. Had the controller told him traffic ahead and to you, left landing runway 33 is a CRJ, report him in sight. Then the helicopter crew would have looked to their left and saw him. So it sounds like they got like T-boned. Like that fucking sucks, dude. What the fuck, right? They unfortunately were looking straight ahead at a different plane. The controller is going to take a major blame for this one, unfortunately, for not being more detailed. Those helicopters literally fly directly in the path of those runway 33 arrivals. So as a controller, you have to be exact. Another problem I see is the expectation bias. As controllers in that scenario, we want to hear the helicopters say traffic in sight, and we will maintain visual separation. These helicopter pilots know we need to hear them say that. It's required. They say they will just because even though they might not really have the aircraft in sight. They are just saying what we want to hear. If they don't, then we stop their forward progress and make them turn out. So yeah, it appears that like I don't have visibility on who is flying. Like obviously no matter who was flying, the American Airlines piece, it doesn't sound like they did anything fucked up. They did whatever they were doing. They were coming in on the normal runway and an Army helicopter got in the way. What I can tell you for sure is what everybody already fucking knows, man, that the diversity tip and the kind of lowering of standards just to make the world look like motherfuckers think it ought to look is rampant, fucking rampant in the military. And here's what you get, dude. You get fucking airplanes and helicopters running into each other. So, I mean, that sucks, dude. That sucks. But I'll tell you what, man, you think I don't think about this shit every time I get on a fucking plane? Like every time I get in there, man, I'm looking through when you go down the jetway. You know when you go down the jetway and you get to the little part right when you're going to step on the plane and it's got like that little more open area with the little control thing so some African can steer it and make it match up to the airplane. You can get on and off. There's a window right there, dude. I always look through that window and like, let's take a look, dude, who's in there. Because sometimes you can't turn and look in there and see who's flying this fucking thing. But before I'm actually on the plane, man, I like to look in there and like, who is fucking running this shit show? And I had one where it was some girl-looking girl. Like, not, if it was like some old boxy lesbian, I could see being like, all right, you look like you've probably been at this a while. You don't look like you're off your meds or having a moment or anything. So I'll take my chances. But when it's like some girl, like one, if you're young, like how the fuck did you get this job? Like, I don't know so much about piloting. If you know from piloting, you be the judge, you speak up. But I don't know so much about piloting, but I do know that to get a spot in one of the bigger scenes, like if you're flying, a main route somewhere good, you're flying from fucking Dallas to New York on a major airline, you've been at this a while and you know what the fuck you're doing, man. If you're flying some little puddle jumper out of Dog Patch to the middle of fucking nowhere, wherever the fuck, then maybe you were flying C-130s in the military and you just got out, whatever the fuck. I knew a guy that did that shit. A dude that, I just went to a funeral a few months ago and I saw this dude. You know what's fucking bizarre? This is something that makes me really work out a lot harder, is when you get older and you end up going to fucking funerals because people get dead, you show up and you'll see motherfuckers that like you knew and you'll look at him and you're like, I feel like I know this fucking guy, except somebody stuck a pump in him and like thump, 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 and turned him into fucking Santa Claus and then left him out in the sun for like a month. So he looks, worn and haggard, but also somehow blown up and bloated. So that was this guy. But apart from that, I saw the dude. I'm like, I know that I know you. And he's like, yeah, it's whoever the fuck. But this guy, he had been an operator and he got out and he did this, used his GI Bill to go to pilot school, which apparently you can do. Never appealed to me, man. I always looked at those fuckers and like, dude, I can't sit still at all, and I look up there and here's this guy's got to fucking fly this thing and he's just got to sit there the whole time. I'm like, dude, I don't want any part of this. But this dude did, and he was telling me all about it. Like, yeah, man, got out, fucking did the pilot thing, flew little short shitty routes, short crummy airplanes, and before long, got straightened out with a nice gig. And he's saying like, yeah, it's a nice retirement. If you don't mind doing it, it's a good way to go around. Like I ain't doing that shit. But, as for this American Airlines situation, man, this fucking sucks. But, I guess what that does do for me, though, is it considerably ups my odds. And it fucking sucks, dude, because out of Wichita, Kansas, I mean, these were probably, Wichita, Kansas is not a fucking hub. Nobody's stopping in Wichita, Kansas to fucking, change planes. No connections are running through goddamn Kansas. So this was all probably good and decent white people that were going to look at DC and see where the sausage gets made or some kind of shit. And now what? Like, what worse introduction to the way this jacked up country works and to die running into an Army helicopter, and then if you don't die in the impact, you'll drown after because you landed in the fucking ocean. Terrific. Fantastic. Anyway, as promised, I'm going to Breitbart News. I took a look at Breitbart News this morning, man, because somebody was breaking my nuts in the comments. And before we get to the good Breitbart, it was actually a meme that I enjoy, that I have previously enjoyed on many occasions to enjoy it, many such cases. But it's that one where it's got the Chad and Virgin deal, and it's the Virgin special operator guy and the Chad, I don't know what did it say? Like Mark I motto infantryman. And it's the shit, dude, because it's painfully fucking true, man. When I was a spoiled little bitch, dude. I'm a spoiled little bitch now. Like, listen to me. I've been indoors, relaxing, sitting in hot showers for fucking 2 weeks, and I still sound like I'm at death's door. I'm a little fucking weenie boy. I'm weak and helpless. But, yeah, the meme, dude, it's talking about like, yeah, you fucking Virgin operator, you leave the house with like 3 or 4 mags and bitch that it's too heavy and your gun's only like 10 inches long and you got 101 gadgets on it and you can't walk around in the dark unless you have 101 kinds of night vision and you're scared to leave the wire unless there's AC 130 overhead. And you'll get a blister if you don't have your special operating boots and your custom-made fucking operating camis and the whole deal. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of fucking hurts. Hey, don't leave out the fucking hotel room, man, because if the hotel room sucks, I'm going to get pissed about that too. Right? Like, where are my fucking accommodations? This is fucking bullshit. And then the standard Mark I motto infantryman is like, I don't remember what, like eats broken glass, can see in the dark, doesn't care, falls down 100 different times, gets right back up, carries his entire life on his back. Dude, these are all true statements, man. These are all true statements. It's true because it hurts. And, dude, I can't remember if I had told this story before. If I did, you get to sit through it again. Sorry, shitheads. But, way the fuck back when we were going out to burn down this guy's opium farm, and the way that the drive worked, it's a long fucking drive. So, because we're virgins and rely entirely on bells and whistles, we're not working in the fucking daytime, dude. Plus it's too hot. I'm not working when it's hot and people can see me. It's an elite fucking situation, right? And it's like a VIP club. So I'm only working at night, only during certain hours. So the deal was that we're going to drive all the way out here. We had these the sweet up-armored Hilux type tip, right? Very cool. Drive way the fuck out here. And it's going to be, I think it was like about a fucking 4-hour drive. And we're going to drive out here about 4 hours. We're going to stop at this Marine outpost and then spend the day there. So you're going to drive most of the night. You'll get your shit together, drive most of the night, get set up, hang out with the jarheads, hate life for a little while. And then when it's dark again, now you're going to press on to the VIP event, you know, and do the red carpet thing. And the idea was we're going to burn this fucking guy's opium farm down. And there was some guy that we were looking for. I don't remember who, but looking for this fucking guy. And we're going to do all that shit and then just drive straight back. Because from there, like, you know where you're going. You don't have to worry so much. And you've already been down this fucking road or whatever. You know, you don't got to work around the red carpet gig. So we're driving out there and we stop at this Marine outpost. And dude, it was like, if you ever seen them cartoons of like, what do you call it? Fucking French Foreign Legion, like the cartoon, not like the gag, like the actual Legion, like I think I talked about before, but like the cartoons where it's like four walls and a bunch of motherfuckers in baseball hats with the flap on the back, like out there just hating life and like, bonjour, like it's hot as fuck. Like that's how these dudes were living. It was fucked up. And we got there, man, and the deal was like, it's just HESCO barriers, and it's just like, how can you say it's like just cement fucking barriers, you know, just these big fucking barriers. And they live inside there. And the only difference between in here and out there is like whatever you fucking build. So they had built up like, you know, kind of a hammock situation. They had all their MREs and shit just kind of over in that corner, and that's what you fucking eat. They had their big pallets of water over there. It's in the shade, but it's hot as fuck. So, you know, if you want some water, it's right there. Go ahead and grab some. If you got to take a shit, that's over, you know, there's another little HESCO barrier. Just go behind that HESCO barrier and there's a hole dug there and you just shit in the trench and fucking cover that up. Like that's how they live, dude. And they had some cots set out for us. Like what swell hosts, right? These guys had set cots out for us. And, you know, you got to go fucking work at night. So you drove most of the night. You get over here, take a little nap. Good luck taking a nap, dude, because it's 1 trillion goddamn degrees and you're just stuck outside. So it fucking sucked, dude. And had a little, I didn't eat their MREs. I brought my own snacks. I brought good fucking snacks, right? I don't eat that shit. But we're out here for this shit and take as much of a nap as I can. And I'm talking to some of these guys. And I'm like, bro, how long are you out here? And they're like, 1 year. Like, do you ever fucking leave? They're like, yeah, we go do like engagement type shit once in a while at the little town over there. And there's like a little Haji town just right over there. Like, fuck. Like, you ever get shot at? And they're like, well, yeah, but I mean, the people from the town try to give us a heads up, you know, because we bring them stuff and we help them out. You know, when stuff gets dropped to us, we'll bring some to them. So, you know, we try to do them a solid. They do us a solid. So it's basically like you're just out here surviving for a fucking year. I'm like, dude, do you shower or what? He's like, yeah, man. You just grab some water bottles and dump it over your head, and that's a shower. Like, where do you wash your fucking clothes? Like, you got 2 sets of camis, dude, and you're gonna wear the ones you got on. You want to wash the other ones? Okay, just rinse them off, man. And then once in a while, they'd rotate out, go to a base somewhere, you know, and you could go in there and they'd wash their shit up, get a proper shower. But, I mean, I looked at that shit and I was like, this would fuck me up. Like, I would not walk this shit off. And I'll tell you, dude, like any of this shit that I ever did, people like, if I'm being honest, dude, people jock it a little hard. Yeah, there's some hair-raising shit. But mostly it's some shit that you knew going in, like it wasn't a surprise that this is what, you know, this job might entail. But getting dropped in the middle of the fucking desert for a year and like, see you in a year, shithead, good luck not dying. You know, is there food? Sorta. Is there water? Sorta. If somebody gets fucked up, just get on the radio and we'll have a helicopter, you know, only 3 or 4 hours away. Don't worry. That would fuck me up, dude. That would definitely stick a little bit. So yeah, dude, the meme, it's funny, but what is also cool is I didn't have to be that hard, right? I put out fucking hard early on, so I don't have to be the guy that's sleeping behind the fucking HESCO barrier and shitting in a hole in the ground and eating MREs for a year, man. That would fuck me up. So yeah, I'll be that virgin all fucking day, dude. Do not want. Anyway, moving along, man. I've got this news story on Breitbart, which I fucking died. Oh, fuck, sorry. I'm not completely well yet. But I got this news story on Breitbart, man, and you can't put a price on this shit. You really cannot. So Breitbart, and it's a picture of some asshole with a fucking Trump Yarmulke, little red Trump fucking Jew hat. And Trump signs executive order to fight anti-Semitism on campus. So, I mean, I'll just read the fucking article because it's super, super short. President Donald Trump signed an executive order Wednesday aimed at fighting anti-Semitism on campus after 18 months in which Americans were shocked, I tell you, by the radicalism and hatred that exploded at the nation's elite universities. All right, so look, man, first, why the fuck would you be shocked, dude? I mean, what these Hebrews are doing over there is, by every definition of the word, a genocide. It is an ethnic cleansing. And after the dirty black summer, why the fuck would you be surprised that these college kids are more than willing to go out in the street and make a scene? I mean, I'm not into making a scene in the street like that, but these kids are. So where does the fucking shock actually come in? Like, this doesn't, what the fuck is this? All right. Continuing on, anti-Semitism emerging alongside anti-Israel radicalism had long been a simmering problem. Oh, had it? It had been a simmering problem on college campuses? I was completely unaware of that because as far as I knew, it was kind of something that'll get you kicked out of college for bringing it up. Anyway, but burst into the open, the word choices, man. It's amazing. It's so dynamic and powerful and visual. It explodes on nation's elite universities, and it burst into the open after the Hamas terror attack in Israel on October 7th, which excited anti-Israel activities. I sure am excited by these activities. I need to use that in a sentence at some point this week. You there, hot girl. I'm very excited by these activities. This is Wendy's. Anyway, the order requires all executive agencies to identify ongoing actions against anti-Semitism. So, well, fuck, you know, let's continue and we'll come back. As well as actions that can be taken within 60 days. In addition, it directs certain agencies to push colleges and universities to monitor activities of alien students and staff. So is that alien students and also staff, or alien students and alien staff? Because if it was alien students, and also the staff, I mean, what you're kind of telling me there is agencies are being directed to monitor the activities of staff who are involved in anti-Semitic protests so that they can be investigated and deported. So I'm guessing the staff there it must be in reference to alien staff, but it does sort of beg the question of why all of a sudden are we going to look at, we're going to look real hard at what are these people doing to upset Jews? You don't have to actually do anything to them. You can just be protesting. You could just be doing something that is identified as anti this group of people, and you can be deported. While on the other hand, if you were just mad at white people, you can destroy property, you can march in the street, you can assault people. All you got to do is say, he called me that one word, that magic word. I mean, I do whatever what I want. And then everything is everything, right? You're actually the one that gets in trouble. You're going to get beat up and you get in trouble for upsetting this African gentleman. Continuing on then, the order follows up on Trump's executive order during his first term, extending civil rights protections to Jewish students. The new order notes that President Joe Biden effectively reversed that order by failing to enforce it. I don't know exactly what the hell that means. The Department of Justice Civil Rights Division was silent throughout the spate of anti-Semitism from 2023 to present. I remember that spate of anti-Semitism. That's crazy. Civil libertarian and prominent Jewish voice Alan Dershowitz, who helped Trump draft his first executive order. I'm not sure how that means. told Newsmax that the new order would have a big impact, adding, "I'm glad that the president and the administration is taking action against non-American citizens who are not entitled to be in this country. They're here as our guests, essentially with student visas, and they're abusing it because so many of these anti-Israel demonstrations are, at their core, anti-American demonstrations." What the fuck? So it seems like there's an awful lot to get your head around with this thing. So first, Alan Dershowitz, like this dude's name has come up again and again and again in connection with Epstein. And if it was me, I feel like I would keep my fucking head down. Like, dude, you've been the subject of films. You've been on lots of fucking news. I have no doubt the guy's got more money than he can ever possibly spend. I would probably keep my fucking head down, man. But yet here he is. And what really bothers me about this is this kind of talk of they're here as our guests. Like, what is this our shit, dude? What is this our business with student visas and they're abusing it because so many come with these anti-Israel demonstrations, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, first, motherfucker, this is what really rubs me the wrong way about a lot of when what happens as far as how people are perceiving the World War II situation. We're like, hey, I'm starting to think that maybe, looking at how our country now is turning into Weimar because we brought a certain group of people in who, they were being blamed for everything. And then we went and kicked somebody's ass and let these idiots come here. And now the same thing is happening here. I'm starting to think that maybe we kicked the wrong asses. And yet these people come in and set up shop and they talk about like, oh, it's our country. It's our America. Like, motherfucker, no, dude. Like, it's not our America. You're a guest as much as less than these fucking people. These people, whether they came here honestly or weasel dick their way in here or whatever, they came in here and they are, at least in some regard, paying customers. So to me, like, you're a paying customer. Okay, well, you don't get to act like an asshole, but you're also a paying customer. You want your customer to have a good experience, I guess, right? And then maybe that pays off in the future. As long as they fuck off down the road, that's ideal. And as long as they're not taking up a space that could be occupied by a white American student, that's even more ideal. However, these Hebrews, a la Alan Dershowitz, how many accusations can one man carry in terms of, yeah, that guy was out there fucking children. And, now as a member of this population that is very much a parasitic and negative impact on this country, you have the stones to step in here and talk about our country, our America, our this, our that. But at no time do these people ever take a step back and say, oh, hey, and by the way, big thanks to, big shout out to white America for going the extra mile and pulling our literal bacon out of the fire. You never hear that. I've never once heard that. But you will hear them bitch and cry again and again and again. And the same people that they should be thanking for doing them a solid are the people that they say, yeah, Vermont is too white. Here's what we're doing about that. Maine is too white. Here's how we're going to fix it. This college is too white. This job workplace is too white. Here's how we're going to fix it. Here's how we're going to change it. Here's why you're a problem. And here's how bunny ears diversity is going to make this whole thing better. With that kind of shit floating around out there, if you're seeing an uptick in bunny ears anti-Semitism, maybe that's got something to do with it. Just a thought. I don't know. Anyway, apart from that, man, I'm barely staying alive. And I wanted to give some quick updates on some shit that I had been trying, that I had been promising, like, yeah, man, I'll give some updates and this kind of shit. So some of the updates in general, I wanted to talk about the intermittent fasting thing. I wanted to talk about some of the strength training shit that I had tried out. specifically some of the half reps type shit like this. And some of you dudes in the chat, man, if you've got some secret sauce, man, wheel it out, dude, because, every little bit's better. And then also I wanted to say a quick word about basically ruining everything for myself. Like, I've laid off boozing. I'm not going to say I quit. I'll just say I stopped for a while, and I'm going to see how that goes. I can tell you this right out of the gate. If I don't see any incredibly impressive, appreciable differences, I'm having a fucking drink. Because, I don't got to drink, but I like having a drink when I like having a drink. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, off the top then, man, the intermittent fasting thing, it's something I've been doing for a good while. And like I was saying about going to that funeral, man, you don't really notice when something's working until you have something to compare it to. So a lot of these dudes that I ran into, like older dudes that I had worked with or something, or guys that were even older than me, and you see like, holy fuck, man, like these dudes are spent, like these dudes are shot. So the fact that I could still lift and I could still roll and all this kind of shit, I'm like, man, this actually probably works a good little bit. I've been doing the thing where like I'll drink some cream in the coffee in the morning. That's not like an innuendo for anything, man. Like, no, dude, I like coffee in the morning and I'll put some cream in there. So I guess in a technical sense, you are breaking fast, because you've got some caloric value there. But if I don't eat till 11 something or noon, then, I'm getting fucking benefit, dude. I'm burning off calories that way. I try to keep it to about an 8-hour window, and I will tell you, man, it does appear to make a difference in terms of what your body does with the food that you do eat. Then later on in the day, it does appear to have a benefit in terms of kind of giving your body a break from digesting food, and now you can focus on all this other shit. So you see like some good spike, and you can feel like some good spike in like your hormones and this kind of thing. So that's been a huge bonus. Like the meme says also, like all your problems are from not drinking enough water. Dude, it does seem to be the case. Like I started pounding on some water, and for a while, like, how you say you want to get gains, you got to have this protein. And for a long time, I was just not drinking enough water. I was hitting a lot of protein, but it was like shit and cement, dude. I was like, I can't eat like this, dude. I will fucking die. But if you're going to eat hard, you got to hydrate hard, and I had been doing well right before I got sick anyway. And now, trying to get back in the saddle, if you like. Bouncing over real quick to the half rep thing that I had mentioned a little while back. If you remember that was this thing that I saw on, I don't know, what do you call it? Like convict Instagram, where it's like there's dudes that are like formerly incarcerated dudes that get out and they show you some of these prison workouts, and they're pretty cool, man. There are some pretty cool workouts. One of the ones that I saw was a guy, and I can't remember the guy's fucking name now, but I talked about it, and this guy in the video, he was talking about half reps, and the idea of the half rep is in that small specific range of motion, you're maximizing the muscle exhaustion and saying like, hey man, I'm going to ask a lot of you, at this part of this range of motion. And the idea behind that is it's going to stimulate muscle growth quicker, because during the rest of the range of the motion, other muscle groups and maybe other parts of that same muscle are going to pick up the work and give that piece a break. So what this guy's talking about is this is, in his experience, actually a quicker way to make gains. I tried it for a little while. I liked it. Mind you, like I'm mixing this in with rolling a lot, but just my experience with it, I really liked it, man. So it's something you might throw in there, in your workouts and see what you think as well. Kind of following up on the, dude, I just saw this and this is hilarious. I'll mention this real quick. The jiu-jitsu thing, man, like this shit it really is a cult. It really is a bug man thing. It's bug man as fuck, but I'm bug man about it, dude. I like it. Holy shit though, like the bug man tip, it can really go down the fucking rabbit hole. If you see any of these instructionals, there's any number of positions, and there will be like entire 7-8 hour instructionals on shit like attacking using collar and sleeve from guard, right? Like you're pulling guard and now you got a hold of a sleeve and you got a hold of a guy's collar, and however many different permutations of here's how you can attack just with these two grips. And there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Some of them are from like these genuine autists. Like this dude, Mikey Musumeci, he's like a world champion right now. I think he's like 150 or something like that. But absolutely autistic. Like if this guy's not autistic, I'll eat my hat. And he's talking about like, yeah, I spend 7-8 hours a day drilling and working through positions and so on. But this dude shows a lot of stuff like that. Some of the ones that are absolutely hilarious to me, like you can just look them up on YouTube too, man. Like you don't got to buy this shit. A lot of these Brazilians, like they have, they don't speak good English, man. And it is so fucking funny. This one guy, and I can't remember the guy's name. I cannot remember the guy's name, but he shows a pass that's called God's Pass or the São Paulo Pass. And he's got a lisp, right? So he's like, we call this one God's Pass or São Paulo Pass. And the idea behind this is it's like, if you don't know what, like if you've seen MMA at all, you know what a guard position is, where like one dude's got his legs wrapped around another dude. And it is actually a pretty strong position. If you think of it like, it's just like being in mount, except you're flipped over. So you don't have some options, but because you have the ground behind you, you do have other options. So half of the idea here is if you can get out of a guy's guard, now you could start really going to work on him. But this a lot of times is a lot easier said than done. So this is where the concept of the pass comes in, trying to pass the guard. But this one that I was watching, this fucking guy is talking about like he's trying to show you the São Paulo Pass. And like traditionally the idea is to always maintain posture. Like you keep a very upright posture. You don't let the guy pull you down. If you do that, then he can start going to work, and he's got 100 different submissions that he can work if you've got your head on his chest. But what this guy is showing, they're like, no, it's okay, because if I put his arm pinned to the side like this, I shift my weight, and he's showing this technique, and I'm not going to explain the technique, but it's basically you're going to weight down this guy's arm so that he can't do anything. He's only got one hand now. It makes it a whole hell of a lot harder to do anything. And then you're going to start working to get his legs taken apart and then get past the guard, and then you're in your ideal position, right? So the guy's talking. He's got this fucking lisp, man. So I'm just, like, I can't barely watch the thing because I'm laughing for like 2 hours straight. And he's like, what's he going to do? He can't grab you short. He can't grab around your head. He can't. So free the legs and finish the pass. And they always end with finish the pass. Finish the pass. Except this guy's got this fucked up lisp where he's like, you're going to step around, you're going to retake the position and finish the pass. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, dude. It's hilarious. But it is a really good time. But there's this shit going around in the jiu-jitsu community right now. And it's called the ecological approach. And it is like a cult within a cult. And the idea of the ecological approach is long and short. It's just positional. It's just a positional situation where like you're in this position, you want to get to that position, or you're in this position and you want to arrange the guy's arm so that you're pinching his head against his arm. That's all you're trying to do. And what this is essentially doing is getting you to focus on the concept of, say, a choke or a pass instead of calling it a pass. And it just allows you to freestyle a little more. And I had heard some ideas about this, like just focus on the concept. There's a couple Australian dudes, one dude, Josh Saunders, that's like, he got the black belt really, really, really fast, but he's also like an absolute fucking specimen. Like he's a really, really big dude. And he's a former professional rugby player. So for this dude to be like, oh yeah, I just learned. Like, no, dude, you're a very rare case. But what a lot of these Australian dudes are doing is they're talking about, like, what is the concept? What is the theory behind what you're trying to do? And this will allow you to freestyle a little bit more. So, for instance, like we're just talking about guard passing, getting out of a closed guard. When you first learn this, a guy is going to teach you, like, look, keep your posture like this. And now you're going to hold here, grip here, step with this leg. And now you're going to press over here to get these legs to pop open. but you don't completely understand why it works. You don't completely understand why you want to get past this dude's guard. But once you start to understand that, and you can be like, okay, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to get this guy's legs open, and I'm trying to get around one leg or the other so I can get to side control, to side mount. And now I can start inflicting damage, whether, you're fucking fighting or you're just rolling or whatever. That's the concept. Okay, so what are some of the concepts behind that? Like if I can get the guy's hips crunched up high, or I can get one hand to his knee, or I can get one arm pinned down over here on the side, like with the São Paulo Pass, right? I can't hold him down. What's he going to do? He can't make a grip. He can't, right? So these are some of the concepts then. But this is like the entire study of this system. So these people refuse to use phrases like pass the guard. They refuse to use phrases like get your hooks in. They refuse to use phrases like hand fight or any of this shit. They won't use the phrases. They'll only refer to the concept. And they talk about these wacky fucking concepts of like, it's for a clearer realization of, an interaction with another human. And I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. That kind of talk, it makes my dick and balls hurt. But, and it just goes to fucking show, like if you leave sissies alone with a thing for too fucking long, they'll turn it fucking lame. Right? There's nothing that people can't turn lame. Like I'm trying to fucking either break this person's joints or choke them unconscious, and you found a way to make it fucking lame. Fucking stop that. Anyway, I digress, man. So the other thing that I wanted to hit on was laying off the sauce. And I know that it's wacky. Like it says the abuse hour right on the fucking thing, right? And there's a good looking martini glass. And now here's me saying, yeah, but I think I'm going to take a little hiatus from the sauce. But I went and got my T levels checked like a few months back, just because I never had. And they were like, it's shitty. It's super fucking low. And at first I thought like, well, dude, I'm going to get on the juice, man. I'm going to get on some of this stuff. But then I start reading about like, well, what could this shit do to you? Like, will it fuck you up at all? And there are some potentially negative side effects. And I'm like, dude, why don't I look at just maximizing on my own? Like, what can I maximize without doing that first? Like, let's do this first. And then if it's still shitty, then we'll look at that. So this is where I started looking at like intermittent fasting, getting enough sleep, take a fucking nap, if you get a chance, kind of food you eat, cutting out obviously the seed oils that everybody, is not keen on, but the processed shit, the high fructose corn syrup, get your red meat on, get any meat on for fuck's sake. This is going to help you right out of the gate. But now the other one that I'm looking at is like, all right, why don't you stop drinking? And I'm like, man, fuck, I like drinking, but now I gotta ask myself seriously, like, does this fuck you up? And I saw a few studies that'll say like, yeah, it does. Yeah, it's not good for you. If you're drinking if you're drinking too much, or the alcohol has an estrogenizing effect. All right, man. All right. So to me, it's really hard to get a straight answer. Like, I feel like I want 100 different sources to say like, yes, absolutely, without question. Because how the fuck do I know who's lying to me and who's not? I mean, anymore, pretty much anybody by default, I'm going to assume is just lying to me. So I haven't had a drink since like sometime in November, I think. And I mean, I don't feel, any different so far, but I guess I'm going to let it play out. I figured I'd let it all play out for like 6 months. I'll take 6 months off of the sauce and see how it works out. And I'll let you know. And I'll tell you what, if it doesn't do anything, I'm like, dude, I don't feel any different. I'll go get, T levels checked. And if it doesn't make any change, I'll be like, man, fuck this. Let's go drinking. And, I don't know, maybe, I was thinking it might be cool to try to put together like an abuse hour trip. If anybody wants to go, like show up somewhere good. I don't know where. I mean, I don't know where anymore. It would be a cool place, to meet up and get a beer. Boston, maybe. I've never been to Boston. I've heard it's cool. Might be a good time. We go to the Goodwill Hunting Bar, and we could quote whatever the fuck Hawthorne or whatever the fuck there. Anyway, that's about all I had, man, for this time around, dude. It's disjointed, but at least I didn't throw up once during this product, so I'm pretty stoked on that. Anyway, I think this week I'm supposed to actually get back on the road in a couple of days, man. I have, and that's the other ass pain, dude. I'm supposed to get back on the road. Like, I'm supposed to be somewhere Monday, right? And it's been like browbeating these people, like, hey, motherfucker, you want me there Monday? You got to give me a signed contract. You got to give me some money. Like, show me that you actually don't have me knocking on the door. And like, hey, I'm here. And like, oh yeah, no, we changed our mind. Like, no, if you want me there, help me fucking help you. And it sucks, dude, because something I notice about a lot of places is they'll have a single point of failure. They'll have this single point of failure, and it'll be like, just some nug. It'll be like the one guy that's got his shit together. And you show up and this is the one guy that's doing everything. You're like, where am I staying? Oh, I got your hotel room. Let me just fucking find it. How about a rental car? Yeah, I got, hold it. Just give me a minute. Just hold on. Am I going to get paid? Yeah, that's my job too. And like, fuck, dude. I mean, I see what goes on around here. I see what's happening. But yeah, man, it's this year so far is total ass. But yeah, maybe down the road, like an abuse hour trip for any nugs who can make it out. And hey, man, if things tilt our way, then maybe we could sponsor a few guys that want to come out and don't quite have the nickels to rub together, which reminds me also of some dudes that were talking about, like, bro, you should like stand a thing up so guys could donate. Like, no, let's not do that, man, because I don't know what kind of money other guys are making off of doing podcasts. I mean, like, I'm sure Devin Stack is making a nice piece of money, but that guy broadcasts all the fucking time, for one. And two, he's doing research all the time. And three, I'm lazy as fuck, right? So I only research once in a rare while when I give a fuck. And plus, if I felt like I had to put out a really, really good product, I don't think this would be as fun. Not as fun for me, and probably not as fun for you. So like, if you got money, like, just put it in a sock someplace. And then if, in the unlikely event we ever put together like a kind of a thing, like, hey, abuse hour trip, we're all going to get together and fucking wherever, Wichita, Kansas, and we're not going to go by plane, right? We go to Wichita, Kansas, we're going to drink at a fucking saloon. Then maybe we stand up a GoFundMe and a couple dudes that need Greyhound bus tickets, we can spring for that shit. Cool. So, all right. Anyway, all right, fuck this, man. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to try to find some lunch, and I'm going to get on the road in a few days. So ideally, I should be able to put out a little coffee break. But until next time, man, stay cool out there. Keep your eyes on the horizon. Keep your neck out of the noose. I have been Coffee, and these are my takes.